So I had a Moab that I was gonna post and do this final episode on, like final or next to final, but I was like going back and watching it, and it wasn't like the most exciting, game. So I decided to go with this one instead. I usually don't focus too much on the gameplay so much as it's like a decent score. And even then, like I always wonder what is a decent score in this game because everyone's got different standards, just like with kind of everything else in life. But welcome to the next part of How I Met Melinders. Thank you guys for sticking around this long and for the support. I'd like to go ahead and since Black Ops 2 comes out in like 2 days, remind you guys that I'm thinking about doing a Road to Commander. And we'd love your input on it. So if you could, if you guys don't mind, just leave me a comment. Let me know if that's a series that you'd like to see. One guy did, I think Noah Man. So thank you for that, dude. I really appreciate it. Anyone else, though? Even if you're going to be playing with me. And that's the thing, too, is when we start it, I don't know if I'm going to be able to record the first night. I think I'm going to try playing a little bit on my account and a little bit on Melinda's account. That way, I don't burn out my computer. But go ahead, and if you do, I want to do the Road to Commander with my friends and with any of you guys that want to play. So if you want to send a friend request to Melinders on Xbox Live, just go ahead and do that. And when I am recording for the Road to Commander, if you guys want to see it, if I see you online, I'll send you an invite or I'll tweet it out or something like that, or let you guys know that we are recording and you can play. And that'll be a lot of fun, because it's better to team up in this game. But with that all said and done, I think my voice cracked. I'm still kind of sick. I don't know why. I haven't really been focusing on getting rid of the sickness. But let's get into what happened with Carrie and how I met Melinda. Because I met Melinda right after Carrie, was what I was trying to say there. So Carrie moves to Japan, and I'd focus. Sometimes the episodes have been kind of digressing into kind of what I felt. I ended up not liking about that girl, and yeah, a lot of my problems with this relationship and with other relationships are, I tend to not vocalize things I'm unhappy about with that person, and so I don't necessarily see that as a shortcoming of on their part, but rather something that I should have taken care of, of like learning to be honest about what you're looking for in a relationship with another person, and if you want to take this advice or whatever it is and apply it to a friendship or any kind of relationship, that's, I think that's universal. Of the first step is, learning how to be honest with the other person about what you're looking for in that relationship. And, to do so in a kind of a positive, kind way. It doesn't work if you go out and you do it like a douchebag, but there is a way where you can, I guess, be direct, and I struggle with that. I have a hard time being direct with my feelings, so it's like I'll be overly considerate and kind of let it kind of roll under the rug, but when I do finally get direct, it's usually out of being extremely frustrated, and so I tend to overreact and have an inappropriate response, like a little too angry or a little too frustrated. And so I still to this day I'm working on balancing that. But let's see. So Carrie moves to Japan. I'm trying to organize all this in my head because it's been a while since I've even thought about it. And basically, I spend kind of that whole time from winter to summer. I divide my time. So, like, I'm working on a bunch of different projects at this time, like the band, and writing those songs. And a lot of those songs end up being kind of about a lot of the things that we've talked about, And also, I'm helping a friend at the time work on his publishing group. So this was like a group of writers that had all connected in Little Rock, which is the area that I live in Arkansas, and we were publishing our short stories, and I think a couple guys did novels, and we were doing readings around town and kind of doing kind of different literary events, trying to get just kind of exposure to writers that were local and trying unpublished, because I don't know, that's something that we're all into down here. And if you're into that kind of thing, if you're into writing or reading stories that are a little hard to get a hold of, I totally it's hard to kind of start like a grassroots movement for that. We ran into a lot of difficulty because, I mean, some guys just, they like to do their thing. They're not really out for, I guess, publishing or getting, a larger audience. And I don't know. It's hard to motivate a kind of a key group of people. But that's what we were doing. We were trying to do that. And so I'm doing this time, and I'm like talking with Carrie a lot over Instant Messenger. And I'm working at this, oddly enough, this like hair salon. I just got a job like there as a receptionist kind of deal where I answer phones and I mean it was a pretty cush job, and you got free haircuts, and I don't know, it was really chill. I didn't have to think a lot, and I needed money. And so I kind of like latched onto that job, and I was just waking up and going to work, and I talked to her because it was like she would be going to bed around, I guess, like 10 o'clock my time here. It's like I live in Central Standard Time in the morning. And so I'd kind of like, start my day and then talk to her, which kind of sucked because if the conversation didn't go well, I'd have to carry that on with me throughout the whole day. So you have the whole day to kind of overanalyze and think, freak out about what she could have possibly meant and what I should have said. But of course, as more time goes on, this connection gets harder to hold on to. You kind of need, I don't know, distance to me it's difficult. I don't recommend long distance relationships, and that's even in other cities. It's hard if you're in the same state. Try, other countries and put an ocean in between you, and it's mind-boggling, how hard it can be to, develop a relationship with a person like that. And so, a lot of friends had difficulties with me, during this time because I was mopey, which, I mean, that fucking sucks to be that way. It's clearly I want to be the kind of person that's able to recognize that I'm not happy in a situation and be able to immediately get out of it. And that was just not the case in this one. And so summertime kind of comes around, and we do this like event at UCA, which is the college that I went to. It stands for the University of Central Arkansas. And I was presenting some stories there with Philip and a friend of ours named Michael. He's been on the channel once or twice. They did this little party at a professor's house afterwards, and we went. And I'm trying to think because I feel like I'm getting here early. But so we go to this party, and there's like all this like free food, and we're just kind of mingling. And I see this, red-haired girl hanging out, and the professor introduces us to these girls, and her name is Melinda, and she's there with her friend Jane. And so this is through a professor. This is how I meet Melinda at this party. Now, at the time that I meet Melinda, I don't really pay attention to her because I was at this party, yes, moping about Gary. I was one of those guys where this is the total situation that's like Facebook and any kind of social media is really bad for if you're feeling blue because you're constantly checking things that are not going to be making you feel better, but you just have this obsession with like reloading the page or checking every way too often. I don't know, every hour, every 6 hours, whatever. It's like when you can get your hands on the social media and let you kind of refresh that need to find out what's going on. Sometimes information at your fingertips is a bad thing, and this was one of those cases. So when I actually meet Melinda, I'm kind of like, oh, hello, and then go on. Philip had ended up inviting her to a party at our house, which they had ended up not going to. But that was the first night, and I remember there was this odd guy. This is really what I focused on at the party. There was this odd guy there, and he had some mental disorder, and we couldn't quite figure out what it was, but he just had this odd social tendency. And I remember thinking, that he was just the loneliest person probably on planet Earth, because the way he talked to me made me feel 10 times worse about my situation. And so there I meet Melinda. And I know that seems kind of anticlimactic, but that is not... I meet Melinda, but I don't meet Melinda, if that makes sense. And so there is one other incident that I guess we need to talk about that kind of gets Melinda and I together. And I'll tell you kind of how that goes about in the next episode. I'm sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger, but I'm going to go eat breakfast with Melinda and get my day started. And I'll have that part up for you guys tomorrow. So have a good Sunday, guys, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks again, guys, for all your support. And this is the longest goodbye ever. So I am saying bye-bye.